So uncivilized.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Good evening. Happy Thursday night. Welcome to another edition of Uncivilized Scoundrels episode. Where we at? 43 or something like
44,
that?
43,
44. 44. Damn. Yeah. We've been going on for a minute. It's good to be back. I missed last week. Good to see you guys tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna go around the panel real quick. Starting off with let's start off with Lel. How you doing tonight, bro?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm having a good time, a good night. It's Friday Eve, so I'm happy about that. Like a couple days off after tomorrow, man.
Yeah, man.
So I'm excited about that. Got some things planned for the weekend, and getting some things reorganized in the office down here and with the displays and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Ready to go.
You got something good going on with that display, man. That's looking nice.
Yeah, bro. It's really good. I got to put Vinny on to that once he gets, he's Vinny's Padawan
bro.
Right now. Yeah, you gotta come down, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta come down. You definitely got to come down and check it out.
All right, cool. We'll figure it out.
Cool. Next up, Rrr Mmmm, how you doing?
I'm great. It's always a great night being with you guys talking about Star Wars. I'm trying to stay warm. It was so warm before, like 80 degrees, and then it got cold again. And
Yeah. It's starting to, the weather's weird out here too. It's starting to get a little warm, or it actually starts off really cold and then it gets warm and then it's cold again. Well, you remember when it was? How last time you were out here?
My
man,
God, bro! Like
it's like that now, man.
Oh,
it's getting like that again,
bro. That night that we did, what was it? That night, we were at Disney until nightfall. I had a sweatshirt on and some shorts, and it was freezing. So I was like, and Toya, didn't she have on shorts and a sweatshirt? I think she was cold as well. Man. So yeah, it was kind of bro. That's that LA weather, man. But I still love LA, bro. I could love California, bro. It's the best place on the planet, bro. Swear to God,
man. Last but not least, my man Vinny, Vincent Dunnar, bro. How you doing tonight, man? And first of all, dude, I don't know if y'all talked about it. Excuse me, but congrats on your first Hot Toys, bro.
Thank you. Yeah. I have to break into it. I've just been absolutely fucking swamped.
Just swamped.
So
really?
Yeah, and I didn't want to get into it until I had time to really let it sink in, and so I've been just so busy this week, and I wanted to try to get into it last weekend because it came last Thursday, and then I worked all day Saturday, then I had Mother's Day stuff all day Monday, and then every day this week I've been working till damn near dark, and then drawing and working on stuff for the next con when I got done my other job. So it's just been too much going on I wanted to like enjoy it when I had time to open it. So I was like, you know what?
He gonna come home one of these days, bro, and it's gonna be out on his desk, posed up and everything. He gonna ask everybody like, "Who came over?" And there's some black people who came from down the street. He's just like, "Yeah."
What I'm waiting to see is like, yo, I want to hear that. I've got 5 more on pre-order, man. I can't wait to get the rest of them. You're gonna catch that bug, man. You're gonna catch that bug. Just you wait and see.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to digging into it. I mean, just the presentation already looks amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, man, just chilling, just getting ready for this next con I got coming up in June. So other than that, just look,
con season is definitely around the corner, man. So get ready.
Absolutely.
Get ready. Let me check with the chat real quick. See who's over here. My man Jason 160 my bro. What's going on with you, man? Thanks for coming through. Vinny's in the chat. My dude Renz Talentino, my
man Renz.
Man. He just finished up a Return of the Jedi art print for me, man, and it's looking pretty solid. And I can't wait for the rest of the trilogy, man. Good to see you here, bro. Graham Jedi, nice watch. What's going on, man? Good to see you here. Mary Sullivan's in the house. How you doing, Mary? My dude Miguel. Sorry, man. I'm tired of shit right now. Miguel, Toy Quest 101. What's up, my brother?
Oh, man.
Thanks for coming through tonight, man. And we also got my dude RMD Collective. What is going on? Thank you everybody here for being here tonight. Really appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, guys, we got a few topics I want to discuss, and so we're gonna try to keep things moving because some of us have to go pretty early or wake up pretty early tomorrow. So yeah, man, let's try to keep things moving. First and foremost, we received some sad news today regarding the fate of the recently opened Galactic Star Cruiser out in Disney World, which unfortunately is shutting down sometime soon. I believe in the end of September. So this thing opened up crazy expensive. I think it's like $4,000 to $6,000 depending on how many people are actually going. It was promised an amazing experience. It opened up to kind of like mediocre reviews, so on one hand it sucks to see all this technology basically get canned, but I personally don't think they're going to scrap it all together. I think there's just too much opportunity to close it permanently, given the fact that Mandalorian is hot right now. You mentioned earlier, Leo, with Ahsoka coming out as well. So, but yeah, I just want to get your guys' thoughts. I mean, did you ever wanted to try to make? I don't know if it's in your budget or not. But was this something that you were kind of thinking about? Are you kind of bummed at the fact that it's starting to close down now?
It didn't look right. A lot of the interiors didn't look right. It wasn't. I think maybe for children it might have been a fun experience, but I don't know about for adults. And
yeah,
mostly going to be adults who are spending, $6,000. That would have been what adults would have spent. They were not going to be bringing their children to something like that. I think that it kind of it didn't live up to the expectation of what it could have been. So
right
inside of it, I don't even know how to say it. It didn't look like a $6,000 experience for even the rooms. $6,000. That's, a 5-star hotel or a vacation in an exotic location. And you would have, a beautiful room and plenty of space and, all sorts of amazing things. But when they showed you what those rooms look like, especially the room you would be staying in, it wasn't as nice as it could have been. It looked like kind of a budget hotel to me. It didn't quite look, it should have looked like what Coruscant looks like,
yeah.
Give me my Coruscant, beautiful looking hotel experience. And then I'll throw out the cash, like what I should have seen, but we didn't have that beautiful, exclusive looking luxury experience for $6,000. That's what that should have been. But, so, they just didn't, if the value of what it was, the interiors looked like what it was supposed to be, then I think people would have spent the money to go to it. But it really looked like, honestly, it looks like something I would have made if I could go ahead and redo my entire house to look like Star Wars.
Yeah. And it would probably look a little bit better as well, because some of the fan art, the creativity is like next level too.
Yes, but I'm not as good as a lot of those creative fans, so mine would look like this thing. Mine would look like this. And then like, oh, you were trying to make it look like Star Wars. Yeah, I was trying. I couldn't quite get it right. And it would look like what they were offering, unfortunately. But, I think there probably are some incredible looking fans that have made their areas, their homes look like Star Wars locations, and they look spectacular and you feel very immersive. This was more, I don't know. It just was not on the level of what you imagine the Imagineers would create.
Not for the price point. Like you mentioned before, there is no way. I mean, there. If anything, I did see like a lot of experiences there for the younger ones. They had all kinds of activities, all kinds of games. They had some cool shows like this. I guess like one of the last nights you would see like Rey and Kylo Ren kind of go at it. And what was cool is that they actually introduced a retractable lightsaber here, which was pretty cool to see. But I was hoping that they would make that more commercially available as well. But unfortunately, that looks like that doesn't appear to be the case. Yeah, but Vinny, is this was this something that you were also interested in, like checking out sometime? Was this like something on your bucket list that you were kind of thinking about, or was it just like, it's like totally not for me?
Uh, um, as you know, I've yet to get down to Disney World and check out Galaxy Edge, and I really want to check out the Falcon and like visit the park and check out all the Star Wars stuff. Nothing about the concept for the Star Wars hotel idea seemed all that appealing to me. It seemed I'm not sure who it was for. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Like
Right.
from jump, it just didn't make much sense, because if you do something that's like you know, a theme park, right? A lot of times it's rich parents taking their kids to go enjoy it. So if you have the hotel be the theme, you are you're counting on even the parents being super fans too. And let's be honest, it's Star Wars, and most people who could afford $6,000 a night might think stocks is the most exciting thing in the world, not Star Wars. Yeah. It's who's like, know your audience. So, not to say that there aren't rich Star Wars fans, there are plenty of them, but enough to support a hotel year round, I don't know. And you know, I would have loved to see them try this on maybe a smaller scale, like just have, you know, a really cool hotel with like Star Wars stuff, like maybe Star Wars art instead of, you know, flowers on the walls. You know what I mean? Like droids going around a hotel. Man, if you would have had like a regular, you know, DoubleTree type hotel, right? And you see just R2D2 droids rolling around, and sometimes there's Chewbacca walking around. That would have been amazing, right? Without them having to go all in and have these rooms that look not very appealing, like Reed was said. Like the pictures of the rooms, I was just like, those look like very small, like dorm rooms. And
dude, they really do.
They look really like dorm rooms, bro. And if you're a millionaire who can afford $6,000 a night like it's nothing, you're not going to want to stay in a dorm room. You're going to want to stay in a suite where you look at, if you're staying in a $6,000 hotel room for a night, I don't care how much other ancillary stuff to justify that cost, you're also going to want to have what basically looks like a loft as your room with a view. And none of these rooms had views. They were just like Star Wars stuff. And that's cool for Star Wars fans to have like geeky Star Wars shit everywhere. But the people who could afford this might not feel like they want to be, you know, a lot of people like going to Disney World and go back to a regular hotel and not just go walk into a room full with Mickey Mouse everywhere. Like they, you know, might want to break from it. I'm sure cool for kids, you know, but a lot of stuff also seem like dependent upon the experience factor, like people walking around in, you know, Jedi garb and like as if you were really there, and it just seemed so ambitious, like really ambitious. And the crappy part about that is like anything not ambitious, you have to kind of go at a loss until you get a following. And if they would have came under, it's kind of like I don't know, like a new console. You know, consoles cost way more than they charge because you have to get people hooked. So they could have charged $1,000 a night and went at a loss. It's Disney, they can afford it, and then got people to go, and then maybe they'd still be open if they had tried a different business model. I don't know. Everything about it just seemed like an idea that no one ever expected to take serious, and then they did. It's nothing about it seemed like it would ever justify the cost, and the execution just didn't seem that great as well. So I can't say that I'm really surprised, but at the same time, it's sad. It's kind of like seeing a theme restaurant in New York go out of business, because it's really cool when there's a theme restaurant in New York, but most of the time they lose money. But the point is, it's advertisement, not to actually turn a profit. So I don't know. It's a shame though. You would think that they would just let it. I don't know. Some things are to lose money because it's advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is a bit of a bummer, dude. But I mean, no, you're right. As far as like it's coming off from the jump, it probably would be in best practices, business wise, just to go ahead and take that loss and just build up off the hype.
Yeah.
Right. Lower your prices and make it more available to the masses. Then in the long run, you'll capitalize. Exactly.
You get them in the cheap, and then you get them to spend a whole bunch of money on all the other shit.
All the little things. Exactly.
Yes, you upsell. You get them to come for maybe not 500, because $500 a night is just a decent hotel in a big city. But like, yeah, $1,000 a night, and you get them there, and then you get them to buy the lightsabers and all the crap that you have in your gift shops and all that stuff like that. You get them to it's like a movie theater. They don't make money on the movies. They make money on the popcorn.
Exactly. Lil, real quick before I get you, man, I need to shout out my cuz out here. Veronica, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming through. My cousin, she's in the house. She told me the last time, hey, you never shout me out. I'm in your chats all the time, and I never see her, but I'm seeing her now, so I gotta say what's up. Say what's up to my cousin, y'all. Veronica, she's
what's up? How you doing, Veronica? Shout out to Veronica.
My dude AJ Haas, Hometown Heroes in the house. What's going on, bro? Peyton 23's in the house. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, you said me?
No, did Vinny say something or?
Oh no! I didn't say.
I said Triple H because Hall's Hometown Heroes.
Triple H. Yeah,
I was just adding. My fault.
My bad. Well, I mean, we talked earlier doing on Brother Cousin stream right now about the possibilities of them, or just trying to give out some ideas as to why they shouldn't shut this thing down, man. Do you think it's possible they can probably like reconsider that? Because for me personally, I just don't see them scrapping this thing because of all the money that they've actually invested in this thing. What are your thoughts, bro?
Well, I think they can reestablish it a certain way, but I think here's the thing, bro. Like, I think the money that they put into this should have gone into, kind of like, put it this way, marketing and everything for them. And their biggest draw is going to be the parks, bro. You know what I mean? Galaxy's Edge is their biggest draw. Definitely. They always get people there. It's an attraction. You know what I mean? Expanding that would have made more sense. Like we talked about, earlier, giving us some OT stuff, like, having half the park. And I mean, right now, Mando is the biggest draw over there. You still have, people there to see like the Force Awakens and, stuff like that. But for this, I just think that they were reaching a bit too big with the expectation that there was going to be like a quicker turnaround. And like we talked about it already, like when we were there at Celebration, they had like an entire section of individuals that were trying to recruit individuals to see it. And people were on board until they mentioned that price, and then they gave back the brochure. They were like, "Nah, definitely. We ain't, that's just not happening. Like, we're not doing that." You know what I mean? Because that's way too much.
Say what?
Yeah, like that's just how it is, bro. Like, there's way too much money, so people were just like, "Nah, we're not doing that." That sticker shock hit real quick, and people were just like, "Nah, it's just not worth it." And from what I'm hearing, and even what we've seen, because of course, when they're advertising and stuff, you see it, and you're like, okay, you know what I mean? It looks good. It looks interesting. But then when you get like real world experiences and people that were there, they're just like, nah, it's not everything. It was cracked up to be behind the scenes. It was just the same stuff they were showing back and forth. I just think that, like I said, they were reaching a bit too much, bro. Like the money that you spent on this should have been spent on the park, and, bettering the quality that you actually have in these shows. Because I mean, again, we know that. But again, this was the era of what Chapek. Yeah, this was during his era, and I think that they were just reaching too much. And right now, even Disney is scaling back. They're trying to lick their wounds on a lot of mistakes that he basically made. You know what I mean? So again, I think that with this, they might be rethinking another model. They might be rethinking, because we talked about this, even on the show earlier, like. We got Ahsoka come in. We got the Acolytes come in. We even have don't keep, what is it, Skeleton Crew? They can retool it and do something like that. You know what I mean? So there's ways that they can do it, but I think they have to really sit back and think about it, because you can't just get rid of something that you invested so much money in, bro. That's a huge loss. You know what I mean? So again, it's just, I don't know. Maybe stroke of luck could come around and they can actually repurpose and release it again a certain way and drop them damn prices. Because what, $6,000 for a family of 5, bro? Was it 5 or $6,000 for a family or 4
something
or
like that. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, that's
it's
wild,
insane, bro.
That's insane, bro.
It's not feasible.
It's not feasible for, especially for that many nights. Especially when you can go to a cruise, you could go on a cruise cheaper than that. You know what I mean? And for a longer.
It's like, what did they think it was? Jurassic Park? Like,
I don't, bro,
right?
They must have. They definitely must have. Like, where's my coupon or something? Like, straight up. I don't know, man. Like, you want that level of success. You want them to be successful, but it's crazy right now. It's definitely crazy right now. So,
and the hotel's at the park, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like a standalone hotel, just with the sole purpose of it being Star Wars themed.
Is the hotel at the park or on the cruise? Where is it at? You're muted, Mario. I can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. No, so what it is, from what I understand, it's like backstage from the park in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So where it takes you up like some sort of elevator, and then you're in like the building where it's supposed to be the ship. So what the idea is, you can come down that shaft again, and then you have access to Galaxy's Edge backstage.
Yeah, so it's even more so crazy to me that you would charge so much when it's just like it should go hand in hand. This should be to generate more, attendance for the park. So that whatever loss you feel like, okay, if you feel like you need it to be $6,000 a night to make your money back, then you could charge $2,000, I don't know, $1,000 or whatever, and know that they're going to be spending money in the park that day. Like,
yeah. Hopefully they'll 2.0 it and maybe learn from this mistake and just make it more affordable to the masses, where you can actually turn a profit. You know, I mean, not just on the entry fees, but I mean, take the loss like you mentioned, but I mean, upsell everything else that they're selling from within. You know, come out with some exclusives just for the hotel, and they'll sell, man, because Disney fans, when it comes to some of the Star Wars stuff, is insane, bro.
Yep.
You know, Leo, you've seen some of the some of the exclusive lightsabers when they go for sale out here. Those lines that build up outside out of Dark Honors.
Bro, what was it like when we did midnight? What was it? It was
Star Wars night.
Star Wars night. Yeah, bro. The line was almost at the beginning of the damn part. Like, it was so many people there waiting, because at that time they released the Ahsoka sabers at that night.
I think so. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro. Like, you couldn't, and it was a perfect time to get it, but you couldn't get in. Like, it was like, you know what? Just forget it. It was too cold out, so we just walked around, had a good time, man. So
yeah, and that's where they can capitalize, just selling off of exclusive merch like that, man. So. Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing. But Ash Chase in the house. Happy birthday, dude, to my man Ash Chase, dude.
Happy
Actually
born.
coming through, man. Yeah, great to see you here tonight, man.
Ash Chase.
That's the dude. That's the homie. That's the homie.
Notice we didn't say Ash Cheeks, bro. So
not this time.
Or Ash Chase.
Or Ash Chase, not this time.
Man,
so we got some other news, man. I think it was today or sometime this week regarding some new a new novel or some new books that's actually coming out. So we got some news about some Clone Wars Ignite the Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade. So here StarWars.com dropped some exclusive concept art, regarding the story. So I guess there's so the gist of it is a Padawan of the Republic, has only ever known peace, but in the upcoming novel by Delilah S. Swanson and she and the rest of the Jedi Order are called to aid Obi-Wan before he is executed on Geonosis and finds herself, preparing for battle. So this today, StarWars.com is thrilled to announce the reveal poster done by the artist, which can be found in Barnes & Noble exclusive edition this week. Look at this.
That's dope.
Look at this.
Yeah,
this is nice.
That's
really
dope.
cool.
Wow. Okay.
That's really cool. So yeah, so we get a look at this novel coming out sometime soon. You guys want to check out the StarWars.com article. It's right there. So that's I personally have never really gotten to any of the novels, but so
Heir to the Empire. Did you read that?
Nah, I never got into it.
You got to read Heir to the Empire, bro.
Especially I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about along with that, but Plagueis was another one, from Lucino, I think his name was. I forget his name. And then the other one too, I heard Thrawn was actually pretty good as well. The actual Star Wars canonized Thrawn novel was actually, I heard it was pretty good.
Listen to the audio, because the audiobook has the sound effects and the music and everything.
Thanks for reminding me. I actually have tokens for Audible that I got to use. So yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. But yeah, for me personally, I love seeing Sith stuff. But I mean, I know Inquisitors aren't technically Sith, but red lightsaber blades, come on, man, all day, all day. I'm
Damn
for
evil
it.
to me. I don't know. I'm scared.
Come on now, don't be
Scared
scared.
of this guy or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in due time when this comes out. But yeah, exciting news for novels. So y'all keep an eye out on that. I just wanted to touch base on that real quick. So
Yeah, bro.
It's almost like in the picture, his whole world, or whatever this character's world is immersed in red. That's all they see is red shades.
Welcome to the dark side, my dear.
It's
Sort of
red.
like what we got from
like Cyclops.
yeah, or even sort of like what we got
even through the lens of Vader.
What was the episode or of Visions? What was that first episode called? Was it called The Sith? Was it
That was oh my gosh, Visions
Visions,
year,
bro? Was so dope,
it
bro.
was so good, man.
It was so dope, bro.
The art style between all of the episodes was incredible.
Yeah, bro. And the thing is, it's like you look at it and like when you're thinking you're not interested in the story, you keep watching it. It's just like, yo,
I loved it.
I
Man.
loved every episode, episode, bro.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It took me a while to like finally get a chance to actually catch it, but I think the first episode really intrigued me the most, just because of that art style. I ate it up, man. I loved it to death.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the last things I wanted to talk about before we get to our main discussion. Is where did it go? Yeah, so I was Entertainment Weekly, I think, sat down with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Just had a little chat, and they dropped a little tease about Ahmed Best could possibly return to The Mandalorian as Keller and Beck. So, first of all, we saw Ahmed Best return in Mando season 3. Triumphant return of Ahmed Best, might I say, man. I think a lot of us were happy to see him. It's great to see the community embrace him once again.
Yeah.
So it's it's awesome to see him here. So the idea of actually having him back, I mean, I personally thought, we've seen what we need to see of him, but I wouldn't mind seeing like, okay, what happens next after post Order 66? What happens to him? There might be something there. Maybe like a quick one-off limited series or something like that. Maybe make it like a couple episodes, or maybe in a movie or something like that. I think that'd be dope. But yeah, what do you guys think about the possibilities of Ahmed Best actually coming back?
I'm excited about it, bro, because I thoroughly enjoyed that episode, and it just begged the curiosity of where him and Grogu, basically where they went, like their journey, who was next, to that they might have actually met up with, and it's just like there's already so much speculation behind those characters, or just his character itself. But I enjoyed it, bro. Even the fighting style, just that whole sequence, and it rightfully so for Ahmed Best, bro. Like I was so happy to see him, get his flowers back, bro. Like that, because he earned that, bro. Especially because we talk about it all the time, bro. If what he went through back then was right now, especially in this era of social media and like just the digital conversations that are out there right now, bro, he probably would have went through. It would have been really dark. But it's good to see that everybody is embracing him and he is getting his just desserts. You know what I mean? So I definitely am all in for it. I can't wait to see it. I would love to see them continue with that story, and see him a bit more. Plus, I want a hot toy, man. Come on, let's give me one. Let's go.
Dude, I love this photo, man. I mean, granted, Jar Jar is still annoying as shit, but I mean, Ahmed Best made the character though, dude.
Yeah.
So again, like you mentioned, everything that he actually went through, man. I'm just glad that I'm happy to hear that he's still with us.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
considering everything that he went through, yeah. But what do you think about this news?
I think it's great, and he looks good as Keller and Beck. Like he looks good. So
Yeah.
He's attractive as this character. I think a hot toy would be great. I think seeing that scene where he has two lightsabers kind of grabbed me. I was expecting to see that at that moment, but he picked up that second lightsaber, and then the next thing you know, like doing the dual lightsaber action, which was great, which means
Yeah.
that Kelleran Beck is a very skilled fighter. I think we need to see what happens after he takes Grogu away. And from as far as I'm concerned, from Jedi Survivor, which is around the same time as, let's say, maybe Grogu kind of slips away when the Empire's in full force and hiding out, we need to see all those stories about what happens to the survivors. So
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
we're getting Cal Kestis' story. It'd be great to see Kelleran Beck's story in a video game or a movie or TV show or however they want to show it. Because I would play that game. I'd play that game where you rescue Grogu, and then you're Kelleran Beck. You play as Kelleran Beck. That sounds like a great game to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What do you think, Vinny, about seeing Ahmed Best coming back?
Yeah, he'll be back in the prequel Dark Jar Jar, where they
How crazy would that be if they actually did that?
it's one of my favorite fan theories that God, I hope never happens, but it's so fun to read.
Oh, someone's gonna make it happen.
I'm amazed there's not a fan film, honestly. But yeah, he's rescuing Grogu. There'll be, I'm sure, more episodes showing what happened from where they left off to how he wound up with Gideon. So there'll be, I'm sure they'll touch more on what happened in between, especially considering you have, the cash cow as part of his backstory. So they'll have more scenes with him because of Grogu alone. So that's like guaranteed, guaranteed in there for him. So good for him. I definitely agree with you on Jar Jar was definitely one of the toughest parts of Phantom Menace or Star Wars in general. And obviously that's not his fault. He was doing his job, what he was supposed to do. So it's kind of sad that he took the criticism of the character personally so hard and wasn't able to really separate it, which is understandable, but still hopefully a cautionary tale for anybody taking on any kind of pop culture role that they hate the character, not you. Just don't listen. Don't get on social media. You know what I mean? If you're in all that stuff, just try to block it out. But I love that he's been brought back in with a chance to, have another role and get a more positive experience from it. And undoubtedly we'll see more from him, and they'll probably have more flashbacks to, complete the puzzle between how Grogu got to where we seen him in the beginning of Mandalorian episode 1.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, I want to check in with RMD. He's asking us if we ever watched the Jedi Temple Challenge here on YouTube.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you? Tell me about it, man. I think I heard.
Well,
it was.
It's because it made sense to bring Kelleran back in because of that challenge and because he was a Padawan and a Jedi instructor. So it's sort of like it's teaching you about ways of the Force, but like also it's a challenge between like kids, that are along the way. I loved it. I loved it, and it was the perfect. Because the thing is, it was crazy, like going back and watching the episode, and when, one of the Jedi Knights was like, we got to get him to Master Kelleran. I was like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? It's like that name was like really. I was like, wait a minute, that name.
So they actually name dropped him before they revealed him?
Yeah, like if you watch the episode.
Yeah.
When you watch the episode that before she fell, she's like, we got to get him to Master Kelleran before they got him to the elevator. And then when you hear it, it's like, wait a minute. Nah, maybe not. But then when they show him, I was like, oh shit, they really did that. Like they really definitely did that. But it was pretty cool, man. That link and to bring him in, it was rightfully so, bro. I mean, I know a lot of people were like, we should have like Mace Windu or somebody else like that. No, I think that this was done well. And it's a good way to kind of give him his shine.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought for a quick second that was Mace Windu.
Yeah, like when you saw it at first, you probably thought it was Mace. That's
yeah, because the colors of his garb matches up too. It's really similar, to his to Mace. I'm like, wait a minute, he just got his hand chopped off. There ain't no way that he recovered from that already and ready to save Grogu. So yeah, it took a minute to actually dawn on me, but yeah, nonetheless, like everybody said, it's just great to see him again back in the universe and just seeing him welcome, amongst the community. So, absolutely love that, man. But yeah, I need to make sure to check that out, dude. that Jedi Academy thing.
Yeah.
Haas Hometown Hero says that they can still make it cool that we don't know like who he sees and when he gets off of the ship. Yeah, that's right. They just completely cut it off. We have like
yeah.
That's
There's
right.
still
Yeah.
so much, and I think that we're going to
It's
see
so
a lot
open-ended.
more. Yeah, it is definitely open ended. We're going to see a lot more, with it, where he goes. And I'm excited. I'm definitely excited because, like I said, now we're in that speculation territory where everybody's just wondering where he ended up. I mean, for all we know, he could be in Vinny's crib. So I can't wait to basically see how it plays out at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, seriously. All right, y'all. So we're about a half hour into this right now, and I know things are moving pretty quickly as Vinny's over there cracking up. Let's I want to go and talk about this main topic of discussion, man. So
Yeah.
what's been going on recently, basically with the writer's strike, it kind of had me thinking about this. I think I was having a conversation with Mafia about this too, and I think that he briefly alluded to it on the show last Saturday with Rob.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was discuss. Did I delete it? No, I didn't. So that's why I put this on the thumbnail: the writers versus artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
So I wanted to see what you guys think of the possibilities of this becoming a reality. But first of all, man, it's really shitty to see Hollywood doing this again. I mean, the writers actually going through this again. It wasn't that long ago where there was another writer strike, and I was talking to Calvin earlier this morning. He had a pickup out of the Disney Studios, and they were out there hard in the picket line.
Yeah.
So the writer, I mean,
These
Hollywood
are writers,
is,
bro.
Yeah, Hollywood is nothing
Yeah.
without them.
Nothing.
These are the storytellers for better or for worse. We have to thank the writers for like the renaissance of TV that we've had.
Mhm.
We've had some really, really good stories, man. I mean, not just in Star Wars in general, but some other amazing shows, that wouldn't have been able to take place, without these brilliant writers, putting the pen to paper. So the writers definitely need their just due, in my opinion. They need to be employed, but from what I understand, as far as Disney or Lucasfilm is concerned, everything, or I'm sure pretty much the rest of Hollywood as well, everything is basically on pause right now, right? All production is on pause, just because of this until they can get this resolved. And I hope that it does get resolved quickly. Let's get the writers back to work.
Yeah, bro.
And all of us, we all want our entertainment as well. So
Yeah,
but,
we want the entertainment, but at the same time, we want fairness. And the thing
Absolutely.
is, like, we're talking about writers, bro, who put a lot of effort into creating some incredible stories, and for them to just be looked at. I mean, there was one story of one of the who was it? One of the writers who received, what was it, a Golden Globe or was it an Academy Award, who had a second tie on, and he went to the thrift shop to basically buy a bow tie because he couldn't afford whatever. And I'm like, yo,
that's
he got an
not
award
right.
but didn't get paid, wasn't making his money, and could barely afford to make his rent. Bro, what is that, man? Like, who does that, bro?
Yeah,
Like, who does
it's
that,
insane.
bro? Like, that's I look at, like, yes, there's entertainment, things that we want to enjoy, but we're looking at people's livelihood, bro. Like, how are they surviving? And they're giving us great quality, but yet Hollywood right now being so stubborn that they just don't want to pay people, bro. Like, what the hell is that, man?
But
Or they
yet
just want
they're
you to
willing to pay
settle.
they're willing to pay their actors millions.
Yeah,
But
bro.
yet they can't take care of their writers that can barely, like you just mentioned, they couldn't afford a freaking tie. I'm sure, let alone pay the rent, because rent out here in California is insanely expensive. So
Right.
and trying to live off of I don't want to say minimum wage, but I mean a non-livable salary is just ridiculous, man.
It's
So we got to get these
ridiculous,
writers back to work, dude. Like straight
Yeah.
up.
Hell yeah.
But Lel, I know you have been looking at a lot of different things with AI lately. I mean, like months ago, man, we saw like all kinds of stuff on social media actually take off.
Yeah.
We saw like all kinds of different photos. You could type into to whatever AI program that you're using. Show me a photo of so and so, as such and such with these details. It's crazy what these engines are spitting back out. It's insane. There was actually I came across recently, I think it was for May 4th, that someone did a complete AI trailer based off of the memes that was shown like early, I think like late last year for the Wes Anderson type of Star Wars theme. Someone made a complete trailer of that. I don't know if you guys actually caught that or not.
No,
but that was all done through AI, man. It was crazy.
See, and yeah, bro. Like what was that? That reface, that repurpose AI that they dropped a few months ago. And everybody was having fun with it. When I thought about what was behind it, this is it right here.
This is the trailer. This is all AI. This is all AI driven.
Wow. Really?
Some of the stuff that's actually like possible with this kind of technology is insane, right? Wow. But at the same time, I see how it can be,
because you're stealing. Because the thing is, what it is you're stealing. It's repurposed theft of another artist's interpretation. You know what I mean? And I think that's where it's really wrong. You know what I mean? Like when you're taking that and, it's after that, bro. And after I read up on it, I deleted that app. I was like, yeah, nah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I deleted it, bro. Wow. I completely deleted it because it's an injustice against artists who work hard, number one. But number two, what they're doing is they're taking interpretations that are already out there and repurposing it, bro. And that's not good. That's definitely not good. So I deleted it.
Look at this. Dale is saying is that a new Drake song was all done in AI.
See,
yeah, this type of technology can be. I mean, while it's amazing and incredible, it's at the same time for what kind of damage that it can cause is concerning. Yeah. I've heard people talk about, hey man, that kids being kidnapped and the parent someone calling their parents impersonating their kids through AI, thinking everything is okay, which is crazy, which is even crazy to think about. But the thing is too is that we have what's it, chat APT or something like that, or chat GPT? Yeah, excuse me. I was messing around with that, right? And I put in something like generate a script for a new Star Wars movie with Rey training a Jedi Academy, and with the new Sith threat. Bro, it spit out an entire outline with Poe Dameron, with Finn, with Lando, the Falcon, everything, dude. There was, I didn't really go through it, but just the idea of how Hollywood could possibly take advantage of something like this or if they haven't already, with or without writers actually, going to work.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's an actual possibility. Graham said earlier that Skynet is actually going to take over, so bro, that's sounding like a reality, man. But I just wanted to get your guys' impression. What do you guys think about this? Or I want to start with you. This is scary. This is frightening times. It's uncertain. It's like some scary shit, man. But at the same time, it's insanely intriguing to me personally, just because the technology side. But I wanted to get your thoughts. How do you feel about the possibility of Hollywood actually going, writing everything through AI, without the writers?
I don't know if they'll use AI for everything, but I personally feel, I don't have any proof, but I feel like they've already been using it for years.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of
I've been
applications.
wondering that too. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they haven't been using it. There's a lot of stuff that feels very generic and, not necessarily the best writing out there. Normally we wouldn't really even see anything like that in television. We would never see anything like that, but we've been seeing a lot of what I would consider not the best writing, stuff that gets pushed through that we wouldn't normally see. And I feel like they've been using it all this time.
Yeah.
Especially when, there's a conflict and they have to come up with an answer, and they just use whatever gets automatically generated. And it doesn't have to be as extensive as Chat GPT. but it could be some other program that they're using to write up, scenes and things like that. So a lot of what we're seeing isn't as creative as it could be, in my opinion.
Right.
But I think they've been using it for years, and they're going to continue to use it. And nothing's going to stop the utilization of it. It's still not up to par. I think that the AI stuff still isn't up to par. It's very generic sounding. And they don't like to, what we found, or at least from what I've been seeing, they don't like to talk about sex or nudity. So that would explain why little sex and nudity in so much of what we've been seeing, is because these automated systems have restricted use of that. So that makes me think, maybe that's what they're using. And the stuff will say it's offensive. Gee, if it's telling you it's offensive and it's not offensive, but we keep hearing that same argument again, somebody programmed that in there. And it's just a repetitive comment. It's not offensive to see two people, making love on a screen. Like, it's not offensive, but if you put stuff into it that you would put in adult situations, adult themes, sex, violence, nudity, etc., it doesn't like to utilize those types of themes or pictures, and they'll actually say that it's abusive and pushes something that's abusive and inappropriate. And we all know it isn't, but or objectifying, and it'll just go on and on about this. And it's just too much of a coincidence that it would say that. It's made so that when you have to submit your pages in the morning to the actors, they won't complain about scenes or anything that they're not ready to do, because they're not going to be like, what, I have to take my clothes off just to answer the door? None of that. You won't hear anything like that. Or, I don't have to be nude when the sun rises. You can have a sheet over me. None of that, because there is no nudity there anymore. So I'm convinced that they've been using it all this time. This is just, but however, there are still those writers, those like, the Gilroys, as I said before, who are incredible writers, and no one would even question that they would ever use something like Chat GPT in their writing. And I think it shows. And they will get paid more money. It's still going to be a struggle. They're not going to get residuals, but they will get paid more money in the long run, because people will want to see what they can create versus some of what we've been seeing recently.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that you can actually replace, the storytelling that we've had for years, with technology like this. What you mentioned earlier about how, I guess, anything that involves with nudity and sex and this and that, I guess that doesn't mean that it won't evolve. This type of technology will evolve. Even though whatever regulation comes from it, I'm sure something like that maybe put in there, because technology always finds a way. So I mean, especially with a business as such as that. But again, this is just. It's just a trip to think about, Lael. I mean, how this is reality now, man. This is the times that we're actually living in these days with with what the possibilities of AI and what can happen, man. It's crazy.
That's the thing, bro. Like, here's the thing. You look at this on two sides, two fronts. Number one, it is definitely a cause for concern, but number two, it is motivation for writers to really get back to rare form and be like, you know what? No, we're going to show you what you've been missing. And if you depend on that, you're not going to get these type of stories. So it is definitely motivation. And I think that, with Hollywood, the way it is right now, you don't want bad blood. You don't want anything worse, man. So, to try to dip into like Chat GPT, they might want to definitely rethink something like that, man. And just, at the end of the day, do what is right. Because it is an art form. Writing is an art form. Do what is right. That's what I'll say.
No, definitely. Yeah, we all know. Of course, we all know the right thing is just getting these people back to work. Yeah, as soon as possible, man. Yeah. So again, like I said earlier, Vinny, it's just it sucks that it just seems that Hollywood just hasn't learned from this. Well, like, we went through this recently.
Like as an artist who draws, man, it's really scary because there's, there's comic book writers who are now like, oh, I don't have to hire a comic book artist. I can just punch in my storyboard into a program and it'll render some art for those panels. And Hollywood is obviously there's no doubt that they're going to think of the same solutions for storyboarding their panels. So it won't be just writing, it'll be art storyboards, and you're going to lose a lot of quality for that. You're going to use a lot of jobs, and you have all these scenarios in which it's really sad that AI is going to and be used for replacing creativity instead of dangerous jobs. Like, why are we using AI for replacing artistic beauty that humans are able to create, as opposed to replacing dangerous, complicated jobs that are harmful to our people? And it's really sad that is where we're using this, application of the technology. And it's obviously rudimentary now, but as you guys pointed out, there's a lot of shows and a lot of movies where the writing is rudimentary anyway, and the focus is on actors and TikTok and social media type entertainment is now most popularly digested in small, short attention span, less complicated quantities anyways. There's a lot of kids now who are literally being trained to digest dumb, short bursts of entertainment. So that is, lends itself to technology that isn't complicated. Like, so, AI isn't going to be sitting here coming out with Citizen Kane. It's going to be coming out with like Vines and Reels type shit that will, easily be made into, digestible content and entertainment for people. And I'm sure Hollywood is looking at that as like, why are we paying, writers this money when no one in their mind looks at like, oh, who wrote this film? They look at who's the star. They look at, is Brad Pitt in this? They don't look at they don't look at the writer. They don't look at, hey, did Tony Gilroy write this? No, they look at, did
it's a simple program.
Daisy Ridley starred this. That they're looking at who's the, where are they going to make their money? So the executives and the actors and, those are where they want to keep that money at. And AI is, is such a danger to creatives all across the board. There's so many talented artists, and again, it's not true AI. It's not technically artificial intelligence. This is theft. AI is algorithm that, like Leo pointed out with this app, a lot of people have seen boycott AI and fuck AI and all those campaigns is because with stuff like the art that you're seeing produced via AI, a lot of it is just algorithm, a system that takes different arts work, runs it through a system, and then produces something in that style. So they have access to any content that's ever been on the internet. And so when you say, I want to see, Thor as a Jedi, like, they're not going to like come up with what they would think of in their own mind, because it's not an actual thinking thing. They're going to look at millions of images of Thor, millions of images of Jedi, and those images are images from people who have their stuff posted online to sell in their store, or posted on DeviantArt, or posted on wherever, and then images of the actors and stuff like that. And then they just take that and they just tweak it and then put Thor with the lightsaber in his hand based on someone's art that someone drew, Thor and someone's Jedi that they drew, and then there you go. And then someone can take that and then sell that as theirs because they ran it through an AI program, because that's all it takes now. So it's just stealing by proxy and with the shield. So that's exactly what's happening now. So you can, and the same thing is happening with this ChatGPT and AI writing, is just taking writing styles and writing, themes and formats and, like formulas from other writers and running it through a program. And that is, stealing too. And then you have, musical theft. Now you have artists like I've seen DJs using Eminem to intro to their concerts, and the fans going crazy thinking that they hired Eminem to say welcome, DJ Thunder, and the guy comes out and the crowd goes crazy like holy shit, he got Eminem to do his intro. And Eminem, it was all AI. Like there's new Drake songs, there's new Biggie songs. Like, even Timbaland, which was so fucking disappointing, released a Biggie song that he did because I had a beat that I never got to work with Big, and when he literally easily could have just put out a beat and put Big's vocals onto it, but no, he ran it through a system with some, had AI write the lyrics in Biggie form instead of just using a Biggie track, and that's just so. It's the theft of creativity. It's so whack. It's so weak. It's so wrong, and it's a shame because those are all entertainment and artistic, not like grievances that are absolutely valid. And then you have a whole other end of the spectrum, like you mentioned with kidnapping and stuff like that, or hey, like, yeah, this is Mario. I killed her.
No, I didn't.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, we ran it through the program. That's your voice, and it's like
that's the scary thing.
That's the scary thing. So what happens when a corrupt government wants to pin a crime on a terrorist or or someone that they're trying to get? They need a patsy. They need somebody. They've lied a million of different ways. People have abused the legal system in so many ways. Now you have AI as another way to abuse the system, and you can make it seem like somebody was. You talk about, hey, that wasn't me in the video. I didn't rob that bank. Now they really can, like, use a program to show that you were doing a crime or committing or admitting to a crime audibly. And what happens in those situations? What happens in those situations where it starts to get used in really dark purposes and ways? And it's just really scary.
I mean,
someone went ahead. I can't remember what article it was, but somebody did try and have something written about Star Wars, like a history or something, using these AIs, and some of the details they couldn't get correct. The computer couldn't understand the concepts. Because it's 80 books. There's 80 written books. And then if you exponentially multiply that times everything that's ever been written in the written word about Star Wars, just it's even online outside of those books, it's a lot. So it was not able to necessarily pull everything together and report things back correctly. So it does have some issues as well, since we're talking about Star Wars and AI.
Right.
One of the creators of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, quit his position at Google because that's one of the companies that produced this technology. He quit because of he was worried what was going to happen, and they didn't want to shut it down. So he quit so he could speak out against it without harming Google and getting sued.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Veronica's mentioned that is blocking, writers' expression of art, which is very sad, for those that want to write. That's what we've been saying. We've been saying all night.
That's what I'm saying. Like the artist's interpretation is in danger. Because the thing is, on top of that, just think if somebody uses, the credibility of an artist to create something like this, bro, like that. It again, like, come on, there's far, but then there's too far, bro, too far. And if Hollywood did some shit like this, bro, that cast and you can't come back from that, bro. That's a shadow you cannot come back from, literally.
And another crazy thing too to think about is mixing this with deepfake. The possibilities are endless, man. I see all kinds of deepfake memes all the time. There's a Instagram account that I follow with it's this dude that impersonates Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? And you see Arnold's face like on every little movie scene, and it looks damn near as real as it can be. So
like we were forgiving. We were more forgiving when we saw Luke deep faked in Book of Boba Fett. We were forgiving because it was like, okay, now we get a chance to see that redemption story. But with deep fake, I mean, again, they still used Mark Hamill's voice, just sort of like
Right.
arpeggiated. They kind of made sure that it was, synced a certain way, and he was there and he gave his approval to do it. But just imagine, like, how far they can go without getting somebody's approval, bro.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
feel like that's the fine line between how do we use this technology in a positive way, because we've all for years, every one of us have thought of, man, what happens if something happens to James Earl Jones? Do they have enough audio of him to just synthesize his voice if he gives his consent, that they could use his voice in the future and just like go in there and say a whole bunch of stuff enough to get the program to recognize his voice and be able to synthesize it for whatever lines they want to use? That would be AI, I guess, like doing something in a positive way. Like that's using technology in a positive way. Now that's a whole nother situation if like James Earl Jones had like died 10 years ago and then they just went and took the movies and just ran it through an AI program and then just used it without his consent going forward. So like there's the difference. Like you can, just like anything, you can abuse it or you can use it in a positive way, because there could be positive applications of it. There could be like using AI for deep fake technology. Mark Hamill is alive and well and saying, hey, like all right, I need to be younger for this role. Y'all are paying me to be here and be an actor. Like go ahead and just do whatever. If AI is helping you do that, cool. It's a role. It's just using technology. It's just CGI. That type of mindset. That's totally different than just using AI to just make your own Luke Skywalker show without paying Mark a dime.
A dime, bro.
Rans, you need to stop with this, bro, because I'm gonna get some sort of message, man, with actual AI saying Mario saying the N1 is definitely coming 100%. Rans, you out of your mind. You out of your damn mind, bro.
If somebody created like a deep fake Mario with an AI voice and said, M1's coming tomorrow and I'm saving my
hell no.
That would be incredible.
Oh man. Yeah, I understand that AI created entertainment, is perfect. What takes our attention using algorithms and data, but it's missing the one thing that truly brings meaning, to the stories, we love is soul. Yeah. Exactly, man.
And you realize that a lot of the AI content that you see and stuff like that, it very rarely creates something new. It just uses what's there and tweaks it, twists it. Like I bet you, like that Star Wars story that it made up didn't create any new characters. It just, like you even said, like it just used all the characters that were in the prequels. Like how many new things did it create from scratch? And that's what it's, it's not there yet, but it's getting close. Like it's just starting.
Yeah. Veronica's saying here that what I mentioned earlier, that scammers are already using AI mimicking voices to scam families.
Yep.
And they are believing it. That's
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ash, the birthday boy, like the robots negotiating about a ball, when they started talking in different languages.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Boba Fett deepfake looked much better than me. It did.
It did,
man.
But even like, cause I watched the behind the scenes and even the actor himself looks like a young Mark Hamill. You know what I mean? So he does, and it was just like a slight deep fake to kind of give him that. So it was good. It was, I did enjoy it, man. I definitely did.
Yeah. Our brother S Beam's in the house. What's going on, man? Saying hi to Rrr real quick. As you should. Everybody coming in here, you got to pay respects to Rrr. Cybernetic Collectibles says, the AI seems to be mostly just break up pieces of all things and rearranges. Yep. Right now, I think in its early stages with this stuff, but I mean, the scary thing is this stuff evolves, so, and I know a hot topic of discussion too is like government regulation when it comes to this stuff. I know the creators are up there, I guess in front of Congress or whoever, trying to, get the government to regulate these things, at least here in the States.
Right.
So we'll see what actually, comes of that. Ash, what'd you say? And AR Mario says yes. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
A big part of the main topic tonight with the writer strike is also where we've gotten the bulk of our Star Wars content the past couple years. The writers used to come up with all these stories for television and get paid for their original stories and then get decent checks from syndication. And the streaming payouts are completely different and completely much less favorable to the writers. Kind of like in the same manner of music to streaming than it used to be back with vinyls and CDs for music artists. So you have say a writer who used to write an episode of Seinfeld getting royalties every time it's on TBS or whatever. When Seinfeld goes to Netflix, they're getting pennies, and they're part of what they're fighting for is not just fighting the AI stuff replacing them, but it's also getting the proper royalties from these streaming sites. And look at how much of our content now comes from streaming as opposed to television. Television had all these things in place to make sure that writers are taken care of. They have all these unions, they have all these things, and then when streaming came along, none of that was part of it. It's kind of like with Scarlett Johansson when she you were going to get paid this much for Black Widow, and then they threw it on streaming, and there was nothing about streaming in the contract, and she's like, hold up, wait, what about the streaming money? And that's what's going on with a lot of these writers too. Only they're not as popular as Scarlett Johansson, so they don't easily get big time lawyers to just go in there and make sure they handle it right away. So they had to strike.
Yeah, so it's just like they want it to be a pro bono situation all the time.
They want to be gig. They want to hire them as gig writers. Like, okay, you're like an independent contractor. You just get paid this little bit pennies for this, and then get out my face. As opposed to the solid lockdown jobs that it used to be before, and in other situations like with television. So it's really like disheartening because like the total sum of all the money that they're asking for is like less than most executive makes a year for all of them.
That's I mean, all the writers that are out there, man, we're there with you. I mean, we're hoping for the best. You guys definitely deserve your just due, so yeah, just keep fighting that fight, man.
Yeah, man.
So but definitely what did Ren say? When AI art first came, you can tell that it was AI, because the hands had too many fingers. Now it's evolving, into better, into more realistic and natural.
It was like Rob Liefeld.
Drawing Deadpool with them.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld can draw hands and feet,
and legs, hands, feet, and legs,
joints.
Something like that too.
Yeah. That's why you always see the feet cut out at the shins. You don't ever see feet in his work.
And to think how I was pissed off when they first came out with CGI movies.
Yeah. Where's Ray Harryhausen?
Straight up, right? So yeah, man. This was an interesting discussion, and we'll just wait and see what happens. And again, just hoping for the best for everybody out there in the picket lines. They really need to get back to work and just continue to, just be given. They deserve more than a livable wage. Especially like I said, out here in Cali, it's just insanely ridiculous. But guys, I think we're going to wrap right there. I know some of us got to get up early in the morning tomorrow, so I don't want to keep you guys up too late. It's already late enough already as it is. But I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Let's check in on the panel, see who's got stuff coming up, starting with Rrr Mmmm. What you got coming up, girl? What's going on with Positive Fandom?
Well, as you guys already know, I am streaming Star Wars Jedi Survivor every day on my channel, and it's been so much fun to play this game. So anybody out there, if you haven't purchased it already, buy the game and just have fun. This is a great graduation game, a step above even Fallen Order. So if you played Fallen Order, you're going to love this game too. Jedi Survivor, I recommend it to everybody. Go ahead and get it. It's fun, and you get to immerse yourself into the Star Wars world, and that's really what we all want from a game. But you can also see me doing my Sunday brunch show at 10:30 a.m. on Sundays, where I do all the parlay in the fandom. Of course, you can find me doing my other shows on the Rrr Network, including Ladies of the PGS, Cat's Corner, PGS Treks, PGS Moving Image, along with many, many more to come, guys, as well as Midnight Musings with my co-host, Liel, right here. And, of course, you can always find me here when they summon me for Uncivilized Scoundrels.
Oh, always. Thank you for coming through. As always, for Thursday nights, we appreciate you so much. My guy, Vinny, what's going on with you, bro?
I am gearing up for one of the biggest cons of the year. There's Philadelphia Fan Expo. I'll be there from June 2nd to the 4th, and I'm really excited for it. There's tons of huge celebrity guests. Hayden Christensen will be there. Most of the cast of Mandalorian will be there.
Nice.
Yeah, Giancarlo will be there. Katie Sackhoff will be there. Back to the Future cast will be there. Smallville cast, Arrow cast.
Wow.
They went all out for a guest. Last year there were some nice names, but this year they leaned all in. So I'm really looking forward to the turnout there. I've been working on a bunch of new pieces, and just really excited for it. Really big con for me. So I've been just spending my free time gearing up for that. And as always, you could catch me talking comic books on Comic Book Talk with Friends on Leo's show on Mondays for now, and always on Thursdays, either every week or every other week here on Uncivilized Scoundrels. So lots of cool stuff to talk about. Both shows all the time. Always a pleasure chatting up with you fine ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, have fun at the con, man. That sounds like a blast, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Always fun. Just even just kicking it with other fans, man. It's amazing. Absolutely. But get to sell arts too, and just all hand drawn. No AI here.
None.
No Allen
None
Iverson.
Whatsoever.
Not a single Allen Iverson.
No single Iverson.
AI. Last but not least, my man Leo. What's going on with you, man? What you got coming up?
Oh man, it's always a pleasure to be here on this channel, man. If you haven't already, Mario is already almost at 1,000 subs. So make sure if you haven't already subscribed, like just definitely come on over and subscribe. What I got going on, man? Tomorrow is Figure Flex Friday, of course. So again, bring your flexes. We'll do the rest. Right. Let me see here. We got Collectors Lounge International on Sunday. We got Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday, and we got Say What Wednesday, of course. I'm going to be doing recording a video on how I'm setting up my Avengers display here on this rack. So it's going to be a diorama. I'm creating a diorama set first. It's going to be lots of snow. And then on top of that, I'll just go in and just start adding the figures. What I love about adding the figures to like just the ambience of the display is like if you get sand or snow or whatever, you put the figures there, you don't need bases because they stand. They'll just be no problem. Yeah, so definitely it's not an issue. So can't wait to do that. So I'm going to put a video together on how I'm actually putting that together like piece by piece. So it'll be fun. Awesome. And yeah, that's just about it, man. That's all we got going on. So if you haven't already become a member or subscribed to the 16 Scale YouTube channel, make sure you do. I am on the road to 4,000 subscribers. So
let's go.
Make sure you haven't already done that. So let's go.
That's right. Come on, y'all. Everybody get Leo to 4K. Get myself to 1,000. We're on the road. Get Rita to 2 million. She's on the way. We got to get her to 2 million by the end of the year. We definitely got to make that happen. Vinny, we got to get your YouTube channel just in general.
Gotta get a YouTube channel.
You got to get
man. Yeah, we got to get you going. You can start reviewing Hot Toys any minute now, man. So be on the lookout for that. Guys, as for myself, man, I just had an interview with my man Thor over there at DCX Open Mic. So go check out that channel real quick, man. And check out my interview, man. That was a fun time. That was definitely a time. What happened? What are they saying?
No, that's just Vinny's logo.
All right. Vinny's logo. Yeah, tomorrow night, LWO. What time are we going? Probably like 8 o'clock Pacific time. Come check us out over on 16 Fix. Also, I'll be on Toy Quest 101, I believe, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So it's always a blast hanging out with my brothers. And yeah, man, it's gonna be it for me, for myself and the crew. Uncivilized Crew. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming through as always. And remember,
the Force will be with you always.
See y'all next time. Peace.
So uncivilized.